What's up everyone, welcome back to the Durbin Compound. If you haven't met me already, my name is Devin Durbin. So today we're cleaning work boots. Truth be told, I already was cleaning my Timberland Pro Gridworks boots, and I decided that I better stop and make a video about it because I know definitely some of my friends have asked me how I keep my boots so nice. So I use my boots just like anybody else. I get them muddy, I get them dirty, I get them salty. I wear them all day long and they get dirty and nasty. But I clean them often and I keep up with it because that's what makes a boot last. So let's get into exactly what I do. So first things first, I take out my shoelaces. I've taken my shoelaces out of one boot already. So these are some steel toes by Timberland Pro. They've been in the woods. I've been cutting wood in them. They're pretty nasty. So what we're going to do is clean up the leather, and then we're going to dry them out, make sure everything is good to go. I'm going to take care of some problem areas, and then we're going to dry them, and then I'm going to put some mink oil on them. So let's get started. Basically the soap that I use is pure Castile soap. The wife puts it in a jar like this. You can get pure Castile soap from Walmart, your big box stores. Heck, you can even get it online. Nonetheless, I'll link in the description where you can get pure Castile soap. I find that it does an excellent job at removing just dirt and crap off the leather of your boots. So I load it up in a big bowl like this, maybe a teaspoon of pure Castile soap, and then I fill the rest of the bowl with hot water. So obviously we're in the kitchen at the Durbin compound and I don't want to get everything nasty and dirty. So I'm going to use some old rags and we're going to get to cleaning this boot. So it really doesn't matter which kind of brush you use. I have an array of brushes. I'm going to just use a couple different things here. Let me move my other junk. And literally I'm just going to soap up my brush and we're going to get to scrubbing. So usually down where your sole meets or your leather meets the sole is going to be the dirtiest part, where you really need to scrub out all that salt and grime and dirt. This is going to be the first area that your boot comes apart, so be sure to concentrate on this bottom part here. I go over it quite a few times. The boots that I get salt in, that's where the salt likes to collect, is down along the seam. So definitely make sure that you get in there. So literally I just go over the whole boot like this, scrubbing the dirt off, scrubbing the leather, and you can already begin to see exactly how much dirt and crap is coming out of the leather. So it doesn't really matter what kind of material your boots are made out of. You can usually use the same principles. I'm sure everybody has a different take on it. Everybody's going to have a different opinion, but just go ahead and clean this up. And then I'll show you, see, I've got some junk still down on the edge of my boot. I should have shaken it out first. Now I've got wood chips everywhere. That's usually how it goes. So get down in the corners. Go ahead and continue to clean this off here. So Castile soap doesn't suds like a normal soap, but cleaning power is not really compared to the amount of suds you get. It's still doing some cleaning. So go ahead and get up here high on the boot. These things weren't that dirty. They were kind of muddy, but they weren't really dirty. On the next pair of boots, I'll go over some white soles and what I do for that. So once I've scrubbed down the boot and I've got it pretty much clean where I want it to be, let's go over this side again. Put a little bit of elbow grease in there. I'll take a rag, just another crap rag, and wipe your leather down. So this gets all that excess water off. It starts pulling your dirt off so that you can get to the drying phase. So if you see that the boot is still dirty, guess what? Step 2, repeat the process. So I usually just wipe these bad boys off with a towel. All right, So boom, there I go, cleaned a boot already. So obviously you want to use a towel that doesn't have any lint. So I usually use a lint-free towel or something like that. As you wipe the leather, the lint will come off on the boot, and boom, you're back to square one. So I'm gonna make sure I get every inch of the boot here and make it look good. Get the steel toe nice and good. Wipe it down. All right, so now I will put it on my boot dryer and let it dry. If you have a mesh boot or a Gore-Tex boot, it really doesn't dry that way. These are Gore-Tex boots, but the heat from inside is going to dry out the leather. So then I could put some mink oil on it. So this is like a cooking show. It's like Emerald Live here. I feel like I'm moving stuff around. Like, here's a boot that's already done, and we're pulling it out of the oven. All right. So I use a PeetDry, a Peet boot dryer. Literally set your boot on top of here and turn it up, and this thing rattles for some reason. All right, it has a heat and no heat option, so I'll let those sit on there. I will continue cleaning my other boot, get it up here, and I'll clean my other sets of boots. We'll do a little time lapse, and then we'll get to how I clean the white soles of boots. So let's shove this on over and we'll get to the time lapse. All right, so I've just gone through and I've cleaned my other boot, put it on the dryer. As those continue to dry, we'll get on to bigger and better things. So if you have a pair of boots like this, things I get are boots that I can think of right now off the top of my head that have white soles, stuff like the Keen Utility San Jose's, these Timberland Pro Gridworks boots that have the flat sole. They have that wedge in white. So that's my biggest pet peeve, is I like to keep things clean and nice. Even though it's a work boot, you still like to walk around and look good. So this white part, this is as good as I could get with that Castile soap. Now, a couple different things, a couple different tricks that I use, one being a magic eraser. That goes to a certain extent. What I have stumbled upon recently is a product called Micellar water. So I think it's called Micellar. So Micellar cleansing water. You'll find it in the face care, skin care aisle at Walmart. I think it's like $8 for this bottle. So I usually give it a good shake, and what I'm going to do is just literally apply it to my towel, and you'd be surprised at how much this stuff actually brightens that white up. So I'm not sure if you can tell from where you are standing right now exactly how much that brightened that up, but hopefully that was portrayed correctly, or its best. Put a little bit more on there, see if we can get some more out of it. So I found this cleansing water to be the best. If you have salt in your boots that just won't come out, also use this on the leather. It will literally wipe out any of that salt or grime that's still in your leather when you get done scrubbing it. So let's try another side here. So this is the other side of the boot. We're going to flip to a clean area of the cloth, and we are going to do it again. Do it again. All right, let's see if we can show this. Oh, excuse me. All right, did you see a difference? I don't know. I don't know what the camera is showing up, but this is probably the best product for getting these clean. Obviously, you could use bleach. You could use a couple different things. With that, you got to be careful because your leather is right here. So that's why I like to use a product that's not going to hurt my leather. And this is basically, heck, I don't know what is in this stuff, but it's good. And I mean, ingredients: aqua water, phosphate, potassium, sodium chloride. Probably the same kind of things that are in hydrogen peroxide. I don't know, kind of foams like hydrogen peroxide. Boom, that is how I clean the white soles of my boots. They're clean enough. I mean, you work every day in them. They're gonna get dirty in the morning, probably 5 minutes after I step out the car, I'm gonna get them dirty. So it's not like it's, you know, do or die on this one. So that Micellar water, get it at Walmart, it does a nice job. So I'm going to dry these as well, and then we're going to come back later on and we're going to put some mink oil on it. I'll show you how I do that. Alright, so we're back. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some mink oil on my leather and show you exactly how I do that. So I have area mink oil. Keep in mind, if you have a lighter shade of boot leather, this will darken it up. So I literally just take it on my fingers here. You can take a microfiber and do it like that, but I find that I waste less product applying it by using my fingers. So we're going to go over the whole boot and we're going to apply this nice and thick, getting down in there by the seams, getting it really coated, nice and heavy. Alright, we're done with that process. Now we wait 5 minutes and we're going to wipe off the excess. So we're going to go ahead and let that boot go and we're going to get on to our next one. Alright, now that we've let it sit for 5 minutes, I'm going to go through and just buff off the excess. Alright, like I said earlier, use a lint-free towel so that you don't get lint in your boots. Alright. That lint will literally come right off on the leather, so then it makes it look like crap. So go ahead and polish all this mink oil off here, and we will wrap up the video. Alright guys, well that wraps up my video. That's a quick down and dirty on how to wash dirty boots. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm not going to go over shoelaces tonight because the concoction that I whipped up for my shoelaces is really not even working. It doesn't even look like it cleaned it up. So that might be another video in the future. I want to show you how to clean up laces. These boots have nice white laces, so they look kind of cool. They contrast well, but they're not coming clean. So not going to include that in tonight's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you stick around. If you like my content, please hit subscribe. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you just hate how I'm doing my thing around here. So as always, we'll see you guys next video.